102.9 WBLM and lovely Rita, February 23rd, 1967.
That's right.
That song was being recorded by the Beatles. Also, birthed that day was one Brian James, who grew up to be the guru.
Augusta General.
Right, Augusta General Hospital.
Which I've learned recently is now called the Ballard Center.
Oh.
Nice.
I don't know why.
Are you on a microphone there, Sly?
I don't know. Am I on a microphone?
Try the other one.
I'm trying this one, and I don't.
No.
I'm trying this one, and.
No. Okay, come over here.
You don't have a mic?
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
She's breaking everything this morning.
This is kind of a big day. Do you think we could have gotten the microphones to work?
What would have changed it from any other day
Right?
that you've ever been here? Listen, seriously, for a second, folks.
Oh, let me turn. No, that's still not working.
For a second, Brian has come into the WBLM morning show, which is a rare, wonderful gift to have you on.
Well, sometimes I come in around 8:30, but never at 7.
No, this alone is a first. But we have Brian has an announcement, and it's totally appropriate that he gives it directly to you. So, Brian James, my brother, the microphone is yours.
Well, everybody, I moved to Augusta, Maine, which is my home, which we just established as my hometown 2 weeks ago, and I'm going to be starting my next chapter at doing radio in Central Maine. But today, I'm saying goodbye at WBLM after 33 years and 10 months to the day today. I started here September 13th, 1987. It's now July 13th, 2021. And here we are.
Guru.
And the first thing on your mind is what happened? Nothing bad, my friends. I love these people and always will, like family and this radio station. And it's just time for something new. This is great for my family. I'm back home. I'm closer to my wife's my wife's family in Dixmont. I'm closer to my son, who just moved to Farmington, and I'm lucky that I'm able to continue my career in radio at home.
Boy, if we've learned anything over the past year, it's about not postponing happiness, right?
Right. I mean, we all got really reflective over the past year and a half, and it's like, okay, if you're going to do this stuff, let's do this stuff. Time is precious.
Amen. Today, stick around. It's going to be a goodbye to our guru, Brian James.
Oh, you're killing me! Seriously!
On the Blim WB.
And they've got no tissues in here.
Oh my God!
Microphones don't work, and no tissues.
7:21. We have suspended. I don't think we've ever done this. We have suspended 2 for Tuesday.
We only do it during A to Z.
Right.
This is a big honor.
Brian James
Thank you.
is here with us this morning, just announcing to all of you that he, after 33 years, is leaving us and moving back home to where he grew up, back to the stomping grounds. Grew up with WBLM in Central Maine.
Yep.
Going back home, he has moved.
Used to listen to Charlie Rose and
Right.
Jose Diaz and Firefly and Mike Bushy and R.J. Hansen. The list goes on. But anyway.
Right. And so 33 years with WBLM. And Grateful Dead, I mean, in my mind, you kind of became the guru when you led us. When I say us, I mean everybody. When Jerry died. And both on air, and I think about whenever it's like you're the guy you're the consoler in chief for us.
Oh, thanks.
Aw.
When Eddie Van Halen passed, Guru's on the air, getting us all through. Tom Petty, Guru's on the air, getting us all through, playing music, playing phone calls from people. When Jerry died, though, man, like tell us about that for you.
Well, I remember it was probably just before Classic Lunch that, well, you remember the old AP machines?
Yeah, I remember.
Teletype. Yeah, tick, 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 that came in, and I ripped it off the wire there and read it, and I was like, we knew it was coming, right, because he'd been ill for quite some time, but he had also just recently changed his diet to a macrobiotic diet, and he was scuba diving and had a new wife, and everything looked really great towards the end there, and then I remember coming in here to Tommy's show and saying they went in to wake up Jerry this morning, and he didn't open his eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we did what we had. We just do what we got to do over here, man. You know what? We know what to do. We played the Dead all day, and then next thing you know, Monument Square is flooded with Deadheads. And I looked out and said, this group needs somebody to speak and lead. So from here in the studio, because we had some PA speakers playing the Dead, blasting over Monument Square while there was a candlelight vigil out there, and I felt like we need to say some words, and it was almost like I was, at church.
Yeah.
I was the minister.
You're the guru, man.
It was neat,
Yeah.
and it was an honor, and I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
We had a great moon that night too, a great Jerry Moon.
Well, you both went to a Dead show, not together, right?
Yeah,
We
were both
should
at
have, I
Highgate.
think. We probably could have taken better care of each other than the people we went with.
Because I remember everyone left, and I was the last one. I was here, and it was at the Highgate show in Vermont.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You came back like a week later, like
You did,
were.
Brian. Brian
There's
did.
no cell phones.
No cell phones, and it took forever to get back for me. I don't know why it took you 3 days, but it did.
It must have been the mushrooms, man.
It took me like a full 24 hours, but you were like gone for 3 days.
Uh-huh.
You got lost,
Oh, I got lost. I got separated from my flock because I had a brownie.
right?
I had one of those, I had never done an edible before, and I was at the Dead show, and I went all in
Right.
at that Dead show.
Yeah,
by
you
the
did.
way, I did all the stuff you're supposed
All
to do
the
at a rock
stuff.
concert.
You had grilled cheese sandwiches.
Yeah.
I did. I paid $5 for a grilled cheese
You wore
sandwich.
patchouli.
I
Right
did the
on.
whole thing, but my eyes, my contact lenses dried out, and then Highgate's like in
yeah.
two parts, right?
Mhm.
And somehow I ended up like I saw a T-shirt stand or something, and I like crossed into another section,
Mhm.
and I lost all my people. And I wandered around, and then I found my friend AJ, who I'd gone with, and I was like, "You found me!" And he was like, "I was looking for you. Was I looking for you?" And I'm like, "Oh, you found me! Thank God."
See, there you
That's the
go.
way it
All
always
the
goes
cars
at the
and
Dead
tents
show.
look
We
the
all,
same.
Everybody finds each other eventually, so
Exactly.
it's okay.
But it took you guys days to get back. I'm just glad you both came.
Oh, and I don't know if you saw this, Celeste, but they crashed the gate at Highgate. to get
Yeah.
in. And Bob Dylan opened up, and the porta potties.
They knocked over the porta potties
Right,
when they
so you
knocked
saw
over
that
the
too.
gate.
The
I
porta
was so
potties were
pissed.
right at the gate, and there were people in them.
Yeah, it was
Oh.
awful.
That is like the
no.
worst. It's like some Jackass stuff. You know, the Jackass
yeah.
the movie when Steve-O's in the porta potty and they launch him. It's like
Oh. Yeah, I
it
was
a
really.
mess.
I was really.
I know you don't like the
horrified.
potty talk. We'll stop there.
7:25, celebrating Brian James here. This will be his final day. This is his final show. We're so honored that he's going to be with us. If you want to talk to the Goo, 792-1029. If you've got a great memory that Brian was at, it could be the Monsters of Rock fiasco with Van Halen and the Scorpions, which you'll get to.
Or it could be the David Bowie show that never was for the Guru and 7 other people. Or
Yeah, trip to
6 other
Canada.
people. Yeah, right.
The Jackman 7, they're known
We
as.
didn't quite make it.
Stopped at the border, never let through. There are so many memories to share. 792-1029. Hey, it's a Blimp. Good morning.
Oh, good morning. Are you seriously telling me this was Brian's last day?
This is it. This is it.
Brian, I live next door to you on Winter Street. This is Patty.
Hi, Patty.
I'm so sad. I cannot believe you're leaving.
Well, I am.
Oh, you were amazing. If you did not make those tapes for my brother when he passed away, I don't know how we could have celebrated the music he wanted. You are an amazing person, and you will be so missed.
Thank you for calling.
You're welcome, and I will miss you immensely.
Salvation. Before that, Room to Move. Why Room to Move?
It's got a little chicka in it, you know?
You like the chicken?
It's just one of those songs when I was a kid. See, my brother Gary found this radio station in 1974, 75, and,
Yeah.
you know, I was probably, so I'm like 9 years old, and my brother Gary was, he is, excuse me, Gary, he's 9 years older than me, so he was a senior in high school listening to the Beatles, and I just wanted to be cool like Gary, so I started listening to this station,
Right.
And I heard John Mayall, and I just thought that was the coolest song. It's funny the songs that stick with you from 45 years ago
Yeah.
or more, right? Room to Move, Amnesia by Poussette Dart,
Oh.
Shanty
Oh,
from
so
Jonathan
good.
Edwards,
Get all those on.
yeah, This Old Cowboy from Marshall Tucker Band, White Bird. Those are those songs that just stuck out for me because you didn't hear those songs anywhere else.
Yeah.
they emanated from the trailer in Litchfield, you know?
Playing some Black Crowes, I got to tell you guys, the Blimp, because of Brian as our music director, because of the Goo, the Black Crowes, BLM was the first radio station outside of their home state of Georgia to play the Black Crowes. You championed them very early on.
And I was lucky to have that latitude in 1990 that, you know, Jose would allow us to do that, to champion a band. So we gotta give him props for that. Like, our friend Karen Durkott said, I got this young band I think you're gonna love. They kind of reminded you of the Faces and the Rolling Stones, and I was like, what? Bring it.
Yeah. And
they opened up for Junkyard. That was their first gig at T-Birds, okay?
Wow.
So they were the opening band. And I had the awkward position on the evening show of having Chris Robinson from the Black Crowes and the lead singer from Junkyard, who I can't remember his name.
Right.
So Karen was pissed at me because because she hyped me on the Black Crowes, this new band, right?
Right.
But she had both these bands she's promoting. They were the headliners, and I gave all my attention to Chris on the air.
Right.
And she was like, don't you ever do that to me again. I'm like,
sorry.
Whoa. I remember the first time that I heard the Black Crowes. I think it was the first time you played them on the air, and I was in the kitchen here at the station, and I stopped, and I was like, what is that? And I stopped, and I didn't move. I listened to She Talks to Angels, and I just didn't move. And my chest, like I almost cried. It was just so beautiful. And I came in here, and I said, what was that? And you were like, it's this new band, the Black Crowes. You're going to love them. And I'm like, I love them already. And then you told me about Chris and everything. But,
well, you know, the Black Crowes came at a time when hair bands they were still the flavor of the day.
Yeah.
Hair bands ruled in 1990. This was before Nirvana and Pearl Jam. And then we had this band that was like, oh, this is roots rock and roll, man. This is cool. Then seeing them at T-Birds and Chris doing his Rod Stewart, Mick Jagger strut.
Yeah,
and I was like, I am in.
Black Crowes. It's WBLM. Brian James, if you're just tuning in, the Guru, this is his last day. He's moving back to his stomping grounds of Central Maine, and this is his last day on the Blimp after 33 glorious, amazing years. Black Crowes is one of the many bands that Brian became great friends with Chris Robinson and Steve Gorman.
Steve Gorman, yeah.
And knowing Chris led you to meeting other people.
Oh, yeah. Are we ready for that? Yeah, 1999. You may remember that the Black Crowes went on tour with Jimmy Page and performed an evening of Led Zeppelin music. And I went to the Centrum in Worcester with my friend Lynn Nash, and I had a fever that day. I was like 101, 102. I should not have been there.
Yeah.
But I wasn't going to miss this.
Right.
So, I got a fever, and I'm still standing there drinking a Heineken next to the celery tray backstage before the show. And, again, Karen Durkott's there. Karen, I'm sorry about telling the story about how you got mad at me about Junkyard. So we're hanging out, me and my friend Lynn and Karen and Chris Robinson, and we're listening to the Isley Brothers on Chris's big backstage stereo, and we're just shooting the breeze and catching up, and in walks Jimmy Page.
Holy.
So think about where my head. I got a fever, so I'm kind of delirious anyway, and I'm drinking a Heineken.
Right.
And Jimmy Page walked in the room.
Right.
And Chris, God bless him, looked over at Jimmy, and then looked over at me and said, hey, Jimmy, this is my friend Brian. He's down from Portland, Maine to see the show tonight. And I shook his hand, and I was just like, Jimmy, thank you.
Right.
I don't know what to say.
So
to
how
him.
cool, Chris
and
Robinson.
Then I look over, I look over at Karen Durkott, and I'm doing the picture motion with my fingers, and she's like, no, I don't know. This was before cell phones.
No camera,
Nobody had a camera, so there's no proof, but that happened.
Amazing. Lots of Black Crowes stories with the Goo.
Oh, by the way, Jimmy said, pleasure to meet you, Brian.
Hello, Brian.
He said your name.
He said my name.
And I shook that head.
I love being with Brian because it was cool. Because if you're with Brian around the Crowes, you're like in. So we were backstage hanging at the Orpheum. We partied so hard, the Crowes were like, "We're out."
Oh my God!
They went to Legal Seafood to eat and said, "Yeah, you guys stay here and keep partying, have at it."
Like out partied the Crow, and like the Orpheum was empty, and Guru was like, "Yeah, we can stay. You know, we're here." And just like the night the Guru out partied the Black Crows.
And the other thing about my relationship with the Crows, and we'll wrap that up here, is that when they played at Colby College in Waterville, they had just signed to Columbia Records.
Mm-hmm.
And I was with Jamie from Columbia and her boyfriend at the time, Bill Millman, and she didn't have a relationship with the band. Usually, the record company is bringing you backstage to meet the artist. In that instance,
Cool.
I had to bring the girl from Columbia to meet the
That's
band,
cool.
so that was cool.
Well, thank you for discovering the Black Crows and bringing them to Maine and making that happen.
And they'll be back this month, right?
That's right.
Brothers are back together again.
Over
Who would have
in
thunk it?
Guildford.
It's the Goo's last day here on WBLM. If you have a memory, 792-1029. Guru's picking all the tunes. We'll do got to get some AC/DC on. Did you say Poussette Dart?
Yes, sir. Amnesia.
We got to do that. Celeste likes that song.
I love
too.
that song.
Very special day here on the Blimp. Hang with us if you can. It's the Captain. It's Celeste.
And the Goo.
The Goo is here. Brian James, if you're just tuning in at 8:08 on this July 13th, Brian James has announced he is leaving WBLM after 33 years.
Wow.
And he is going home, back to the stomping grounds in Central Maine.
Yep, back to Augusta.
We're going to miss you.
I'm going to miss you.
I'm going to come visit you.
I'm going to come visit you.
All right.
You think I'm not coming down and going to shows at Aura and hanging out with you guys at Portland House of Music?
Yep.
As if not.
Amazing.
As if not.
Dude,
Wow.
All the
no doubt.
Everyone's calling in. Jedi from the main cabin masters is calling in. Hey!
This is Jedi.
What?
Hey! Main cabin masters!
What's up?
What's up, buddy?
Jared Baker,
Oh.
mister.
Oh, just getting ready to go tear into some cabins.
Yeah?
Yeah, just, geez, wanted to say, sad to hear you're leaving the Blimp, but wish you the best on all the new adventures.
Why, thank you, sir. You're a good man to call in. And
Yeah, no, can only express how much I appreciate the music you guys have introduced me to and kept me going through my 40-something years.
You're so sweet to call in, man. And, hey, the cat's out of the bag that I've moved home, so you and I are going to be like 10 minutes away from each other. So look out, Augusta. There's trouble afoot.
Well, hopefully we'll see you in the woodshed a little more often.
Oh, yeah.
Goo's wearing his Straight Outta Cabins t-shirt today, Jedi, so
Nice.
thank you, brother.
Cool. All right, guys.
There you go. That's a nice call.
Yeah.
Main cabin, they're good guys,
I
man.
love them.
Great Blimpsters, no doubt about it. Goo, first thing I'm going to give you, it's going to be like word association time.
Oh, I love this
boy.
game. This is fun.
All right.
The next word,
Mhm.
can I get a drum roll, please, Celeste? The word, it's not even a word, is AC/DC.
Oh.
The
What's your
word
response?
is AC/DC.
The response is the first thing that'll pop into my head, of course, is that's how Sherry and I spent our honeymoon.
Oh, very good.
We
With AC/DC.
pretty much. I mean,
Okay.
pretty much. We got married right over. I do everything pretty close.
Yeah, everything was right here.
Sherry and I got married at the First Parish Unitarian Universalist Church right at the top of Temple Street. And we had our reception right here at One City Center. And I love that I'm with people that were there.
Yeah,
both
we were
of
both
you
at
were
your
there,
wedding, yeah.
November 9th, 1990. And I think it was like November 13th that AC/DC played the Civic Center.
Mm-hmm.
And we spent the weekend in Kennebunkport, nice time out there, plenty of loving, newlyweds. And then, part of the honeymoon was going to AC/DC at the Civic Center and hanging out with Angus backstage. And
Cool.
Coolest guys.
I was still smoking Bots back then.
Right.
And he gave me one of those fancy European cigarettes, and I smoked it. I'm such an idiot. I, saved the cigarette butt. It was so
Of
gross.
course.
So gross.
Of
And
course.
I wrote Angus's cigarette and put it on my mantle.
Oh my god.
And he signed, and the whole band signed my jeans. And you guys remember Ruthie from the record store up on Congress Street?
Sure.
I gave those pants to Ruthie, and she
Aw.
hung them up in the record store. And
Man.
Anyway, yeah, AC/DC, man. We've seen AC/DC a lot over the years, for sure.
Right.
All of us.
Yeah.
Right.
What a band. We love them so much. And hey, then there's this.
Yes.
How's that for a tribute, right? Let's not forget
AC/DC
that.
Tattoo on the Goo.
That's
Final
right.
day. Let's crank it up. 0.9 WBLM Elevation. Captain Celeste and Brian James, a party guru who has announced he is leaving us after 33 years. Going home to Augusta.
Hardest thing I've ever said to either of you. Absolutely.
Oh, God.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was the hardest thing to hear.
It's the hardest thing to hear.
And you guys, I am doing such a good job of holding it together.
Yeah, we're not
today.
crying.
I'm doing a good job.
We're getting
'Cause I
choked
was-
up, but
I
you
was-
got some tissues though.
So
just in
I
case.
did.
Good.
I actually, I usually have a box of tissues in here just because I'm always sneezing. And I'm out, and so I stole these from Lori Bornis's desk. So.
Right. All right. 792-1029. We're on till 9. The Facebook page, if you want to get on Brian's Facebook page, WBLM Facebook page. We have a great article with some great old pictures of the Goo.
Oh, it's so
Well, we're
awesome.
gonna check that out. I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't? Oh, you're gonna love it.
You got some Chisel Whizzle from Coney up there as well. WBLM.
Good morning, my lover.
Oh, wait a minute. Why you go? I'm your lover.
I know that too.
Mrs.
I was actually talking to Celeste, so
Ah.
you know, I'll fight it.
She just left to get us breakfast sandwiches, so.
Mrs. Goo, how are you?
I am well. How are you?
I'm sad.
Me too.
This is my rock right here, everybody. Sherry's been with me longer than I've been at the Blimp. Just a few
6
months
months.
longer, but she's been with me for the whole ride. We met in January '87, and I started here in September of '87. So.
That's right, baby.
You know,
That's right.
with the Blimp crew, it's like we've been through it. We've been with each other for, births, deaths, marriages, divorces, illnesses,
And we've propped each other up
Pan-
all along.
pandemics, ice storms,
Yeah.
backstage.
know,
I mean,
oh my
it's
God.
and Sherry, you've been there. You're part of the. It's all one big giant family, and that will never change. But man, you think about what we've all been through together, right?
Hey man, if we need to go to war, there's no better crew that I'd assembled. Or if the zombies,
That's
if there's
right.
a zombie apocalypse, I'm gathering this team together again. That's for sure.
Well, yeah. Oh.
Carter leading the way with a gun.
There you go. Yeah, we need someone who knows how to do one of those things. Sherry, Sherry, thank you for taking such good care of our Goo for all these years.
And thank you for having us. And I wouldn't have picked a better family. We couldn't have.
Thank you, dear. Appreciate
I
that.
love you guys.
We'll send them home after 9.
I love you, baby.
Yeah, I know. I'm listening, baby.
See ya.
All right.
Thanks, Sherry.
Greg Martin with a Egg McMuffin in my mouth.
Oh my.
What's better than Greg Martens with an Egg McMuffin in his mouth?
Oh, buddy. Chew it up, mister.
That's a pretty wide open joke right there.
Yeah, exactly.
So listen, Brian, I just felt compelled to call. I'm not very often in my car anymore, but ironically today I'm on the road, and I'm getting a little choked up already just thinking about it, man. 'cause,
Oh, Greg, thank you, man. You're always where you need to be, and you know that. You always seem to show up at the right time and meet the right people. That's what I know about Greg Martens. I
Well,
love
listen,
it.
man, real quick, I know you've saved a couple lives of friends of mine
What?
that different times in their lives when they were contemplating taking their life, they turned on WBLM and they heard the Beatles. There's a certain girl, hopefully she's listening right now. I know she's still here. I mean, you just don't realize the impact of. I wonder sometimes how the impact that you've actually saved somebody's life, man, and that's just that heavy. Love you, and I miss you, man. You're cheering me up. Take care of yourself. Love you guys. Keep up the good work. Bye-bye.
Cloudy day, 102.9 WBLM. Beatles, 8:36. I'm the captain. There's the lovely Celeste.
Good morning, everybody.
And here's Brian James.
Hi there.
Brian announcing to the world, to all of Maine, to all of you Blimpsters, that he is leaving us after 33 years. Brian going home, back to Central Maine. He has moved. You moved.
I did.
You moved.
Top secret.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's continuing.
Biggest covert operation ever, I think, in the history of Maine radio, anyway.
Hey, and it's hard to keep anything a secret in Maine.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Anything at all. I can't believe you did it.
Maine is a small town, and nobody knew. How about that?
Brian grew up listening to WBLM, like Celeste grew up
Mhm.
listening to WBLM.
He and I are, I think, the only ones
Right.
from, you know,
Mhm.
the core group
Yeah.
that did.
Right. And both had BLM T-shirts in every color
Bumper sticker on my bedroom wall.
of the rainbow.
Yeah.
Used to get mine at Farrell's Jeans Incorporated downstairs at Farrell's in the Village Shop. And
I got mine at Levinsky's.
different color for every day of the week.
Nice.
Yeah,
Great.
sure.
So a Blimster since birth, and will be a Blimster forever. So
Absolutely.
how cool for both of you that, you know, born, raised, now on the station you grew up with.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's been an honor. It's nothing. I never took it lightly. I always drove in here, and I'm going to start crying now. I always drove in here psyched to go to work. Every day, you guys. And you talk to your friends and family, people hate their jobs.
Right.
And every day it was a party in here, and I loved every day of it.
Well, we love you, man. Got a couple more. Drew's going to be on for another 20 minutes or so. So definitely stick around. Some great pictures of the journey here on the blimp up on the WBLM app. And we love our goo.
And I love you. See, I stopped crying.
I know I can't talk. I love you. Thank you for being my rock brother for so long.
And I always will.
I love you.
I love you too.
Happy trails, baby.
Thank you.
Best things to ever come out of Maine. It's 102.9 WBLM, The Blend. And our very own Brian James, the other great thing to ever come out of the great state of Maine. Ah, stop it. Right here. Good jam. Good tunes today, Goo.
I was honored to be part of that little documentary about the blend.
That's
That was fun.
That's right.
With Paul Tukey and Andrew Gavatzos, and
Yeah, man.
we love the blend, man. I love that song. That takes me back to 41 School Street in Augusta, sitting in the tub, hearing that on BLM.
Oh, fun.
What were you doing in the tub? Like, why does the tub play a integral part of the
Getting clean, Herb.
Okay,
What do you
okay.
do in the
I
tub?
don't know. You know, it's a strange place to be listening to the blend, but you do
Mhm.
whatever it is that
Mhm.
you do.
What, you didn't listen to music when you took a bath when you were a kid? Seriously?
I didn't have
We
like
little-
a radio in the bathroom.
No, we had a little Panasonic right on the top of the toilet. It
That
sat
I wish
there.
we'd had one.
Yeah.
See, this is a dude that like eats, sleeps, breathes, bathes.
Yeah, the radio's always
Yeah.
on.
Rock
Yeah,
and roll.
ask Sherry. Wherever I am in the house, the radio is on.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard, if you're coming in here midstream this morning, Brian is leaving us after 33, almost 34 years
Yeah.
of rocking WBLM, and he's moved to Augusta, and he's moving the operation to Central Maine. And while we're sad for us, we are so happy for our dear friend, and he'll always be, you know, one of the legendary blimp DJs. You know, the list is long. And,
Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter what you do in the future, you'll always be that. I think you and I talked about that. It was like one time you said, Goo, like if you ever like end up selling insurance or something, you'll always be the Goo from BLM.
That's right.
That's true. You know, you said something to me the other day. It was yesterday, I think, that we were talking, and you said that you feel so good being back at home
Mm-hmm.
because you have so many memories
Oh,
driving
yeah.
through Augusta.
Don't listen. We said we weren't going to cry again.
I know,
You're
but I
taking me
just
back
like this
there.
is what makes me feel better about
thank you.
going is knowing how happy you're going to be.
Yeah, and you know, my parents are buried right up the road from my house. That's powerful to be able to go visit that whenever I want to. I ride around and think of my Nana and just growing up, and I drove by the Oak Street dance where Kathy Jameson taught me to dance.
Yeah.
I'm just having a blast with, and I can't wait for you guys to come up so I can show you around and just say, this is where I did this, and this is where I did that. This
Yeah.
is where I went to high school.
Can't wait.
And, you know, seeing all my old friends that I haven't seen in 35 years or more, you're right back on with them.
Yeah,
Your
coming out of-
hometown, your homies, like, I'm sure when you go back home, it's the same
Yeah.
thing. When you go see your buddy Ben or you go back to Biddeford, it's like,
Saco.
I always screw that up. I'm so
It's still
sorry.
happening.
All these years.
But like
32 years.
decades can go by, and your homies that you grew up with, man.
Yeah.
I went out on a boat on Cobbossee on July 5th with my oldest friend at Augusta, Brian Roulard. We've been friends since we were 5 years old. And it was just the best. It's like here we are 54 and we're still this tight. It's amazing. And I'll always be tight with you, and you will always be my brother and my sister. I love you so much.
Absolutely.
We love you.
We love you.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, Goo's got one more song for you. And goodbye. And then we'll send Goo on his way. And we love him so much. WBLM coming right back.
All right, it's 102.9 WBLN, Maine's classic rock station. And as I look across the studio here and see this wonderful cartoon drawing from Maine Today magazine of Bob Fuller and J.J. Jeffrey, the guys that started it all, I was just going to say, what an honor it has been to be part of this legendary air staff, and so many legendary people before me. I've listed them off before, and I could list them again. Mike Bushy and R.J. Hansen, Charlie Rose, Jose Diaz. If I forget anybody, please forgive me. Firefly. Let's see. Let's get into the 80s. Mark Matsell and Mark Persky, Tommy C., Herb, Celeste. The list goes on and on. I mean, the best of the radio station for the past nearly 50 years. And I am so honored and blessed to have been a part of it. I love you all. And remember, if the conniption fits, wear it. Be fearless.
It's time to see the world again. Go nose to nose with amazing animals. Touch the sky on your favorite coasters and excite your senses at the one-of-a-kind electric ocean. It's time for a world where everything tastes better with an ice-cold Coca-Cola. It's time to see the world again. It's time...